Hey, what up YouTube? This is Scale Cave Reptiles. I decided to do my own video without Preston. So, sorry Preston, I decided to make one all by myself. Because I was bored. I'm going to be doing a bearded dragon care video. Um, I'm not the bearded dragon guy, Preston is. I'm the leopard gecko guy. You can ask me anything about leopard geckos and I'll pretty much know what it is. Because they were my first reptiles, so I did research all the time. This is my bearded dragon. I'm using the front side of my camera, so like, that's him. This is the tank. So yeah. But I just added sand to his tank because everyone was telling me to, and I was just using paper towels, so I decided to use sand. Yeah, got play sand that I went through and sifted all the big rocks and all that stuff that can impact them and stuff like that. So it's pretty fine grain. I mean, it doesn't really hurt him or anything. A lot of people say they eat it, but he hasn't eaten any that I've seen yet. So here we go. With the substrate, you can either use sand, paper towels, reptile carpet. Just make sure nothing green on the ground or any foliage, because they will eat it thinking it's food. Because he eats all kinds of stuff. He eats blueberries and collard greens today. But yeah, he eats the blueberries. He likes them. I mean, he kind of picked around. But sorry about that. I can try and get him to eat one for you. I'll do diet last, but I'll just show you this. He knows that these pliers are food, so that's him eating a blueberry. Yeah, but okay, so substrates, any of that stuff. With decorations, I went simple because I don't know, I'm gonna pimp out his tank. Like, I'll add all kinds of decorations sooner or later. Just for right now, he's got like a little basking brick, and that's about it. I mean, he's got one brick and then the food dish. Reason he has no water dish is because when you give him a bath, you're supposed to give him a bath every other day to every 3 days, at minimum once a week. I do his maybe every 3 days or so. And you're supposed to mist them down with water like every day, because in the wild they lick it off their face. They don't really drink from a dish. So all he really did was dirty it up and it would evaporate, and that was pretty much it. So I took it out, and I know I'm going to get hate for it because I get hate for everything. I mean, who doesn't? But yeah, after that, they're diurnal or whatever, daytime animals, so they are active during the day. So they do need a UVB bulb. This is a 10.0 coil bulb. I know coil bulbs aren't the best. I'm going to switch his bulb out whenever I get enough money. But for right now, it works. I mean, he doesn't have any problems with it. And it's not that bright. Like, it's kind of bright when you stare right at it. But see, it's not really that bright on like the ground or anything. So he seems fine with it. Yeah, with their basking spot, they're desert animals, so their humidity isn't supposed to be very high. So don't like mist down their whole tank, just mist him or her. And don't mist their ears because, I don't know, like infections in there. So I just mist down his back and driplets on his head and stuff. Their basking needs to be around 100 to 110, in between there. So I have a 100-watt bulb on him. Basking spot. If I get close enough, you might get a... sometimes he'll lick the camera. But that's their basking spot. So yeah. What was that? Oh yeah, tank size. I think mine is in a 40-gallon. For a baby, I recommend starting with a 20-gallon, not a 10-gallon, because 10 gallons, if you have a basking of 100 degrees in a 10-gallon, here, I'll show you. 10-gallon, let's say this is the basking side. It's 100 degrees over here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be around 90-ish over here. So they won't really have anywhere to go to cool off in the 80-degree range. So 20 gallons, I think, work better. And then full grown, they need about a 40-gallon. Gives them enough space to move around. Some people say smaller, like if you got a 30-gallon, It's the same dimensions, it's just not as high. But, I mean, mine does climb somewhat. Whenever I, like, put branches and stuff, let him climb on those, he does climb. But, I mean, I wouldn't go any smaller than that for a full-grown one, because I think a 20-gallon wouldn't be very much space for him to move around. After that, tank. Don't know much about breeding. All I really know is you get a male and a female that are ready. You put them together. The male will start bobbing his head and go after her and bite her on the neck, and they'll breed, and then you incubate the babies. I think a little bit warmer than leopard geckos. So that's all I really know about them. I've never really bred mine. Mine's just a pet. Shedding, just give him a bath. Help him. Okay, and then food. Food is the most complicated part of these things. I mean, leopard geckos, just throw a couple mealworms, superworms in there, crickets. These guys are complicated. As babies, you're going to want to feed them a more protein-based diet, but offer vegetables a lot. So, I mean, I usually just keep vegetables in the tank with some fruits and stuff. You can pretty much feed them like anything. I mean, one of my friends feeds them spinach, peppers, not like the hot peppers, but, you know, like green peppers and stuff like that. Kale, collard greens, blueberries, all kinds of stuff. You don't want to feed them too much of the high potassium stuff, so like not like a bunch of bananas or anything. You want to kind of balance it out. But as babies, you're going to want more crickets and everything. I put calcium on my crickets and my mealworms with D3, but I don't put it on every single one. I just kind of put it in there and then feed them. So, yeah. When they get older, though, they can have more vegetables and less mealworms and stuff. So I feed mine maybe 2 or 3 mealworms every day, or like 5 or 6 every other day. You don't want to feed them just like 20 crickets, because you'll run out of money pretty fast. Because if you feed them as many crickets as they'll eat every day, it will kill them, because they don't have the trigger in their mind to stop eating. So in the wild, they'll just eat and eat and eat and eat until they die. So you kind of got to give them enough food to eat in 10 minutes. He has a little bit extra to last him overnight till tomorrow and throughout the day tomorrow. But that's pretty much it. I mean, think if I'm forgetting anything. Humidity 10 to 30, and then bath at lukewarm, like room temperature water, every other day to once a week. But oh yeah, and you do not want to put other reptiles next to them, because they will think it's food and try and go after them. Because that's why I have this divider in here. It's because there's a tank here and the tank here. But yeah, he thought my leopard geckos were food. Found out, I'm almost 100% sure he is wild caught, because I mean, most bearded dragons tame down really easily, and mine didn't. And that's not the only reason. He looks wild caught. He acts wild caught. And the guy I bought him from treated him like crap. So either he was raised not handled at all. And the thing is like, he has the right size tank and the right basking and everything, but he's stressed out. So I'm doing everything I can to not stress him out anymore. So I mean, he's handleable, but he doesn't like being handled too much. But that orange on his beard, that just like line of orange, sorry buddy, here I go, makes me think he's wild caught. So that's it. Rate, comment, subscribe. Scale Cave Reptiles out.